per saloon car, sedan. If you go elsewhere, they pay about close to 5 cedis. Okay, and if you want your road fixed and you don't want to pay the right tolls, how do we raise the money? Some other persons or group of people are thinking that instead of a few people paying the tolls and the money being used to service all the roads in the country, why don't we devise a means to be able to reach out to every road user? And if you say every road user, it could be the cyclist, the motorcyclist, the even the person who walks on the road. So how do we reach to all of these people? It could be maybe it's few pesos being charged on a liter of fuel.
So that's Deputy Roads and Highways Minister Stephen Jalula. We've put up a poll on Twitter. Question we're asking is, are you willing to pay more road tolls for better roads? And so far, we've had 73.6% of respondents saying no, 26.4% saying yes. Here are some tweets coming through on Twitter. So this is at Nyavo John A says, it can't be business as usual. We pay, they chop and come back to be asking for more. To do what? Chop again, Tofiakwa. Hashtag Joy SMS. Abdul Inusa says, until they begin to utilize the little they're asking. Nyansafwe, I am not paying anything. Is that it? I hope I got that right. And J Hay _ Snow says toll booths have outlived their purposes and are even discriminatory. Toll booths should be taken off and the tolls charged as a one-time premium on all vehicles when going for your roadworthy stamp. Hashtag Joy SMS. At Nate Sam says, what happened to the ones we have been paying all these years? Good question. At Kosi Atipo says, I am ready to pay. Beyond that, the government must convert all the toll booths from manual to electronic swipe cards. At Abdul Baki Adam says, capital no, the ones we pay is enough. And Desmond Yadomboache says, ever ready to pay for it. I can't expect good things and fear to pay for it. Yao Skyface says, first, let them account for all these years of paying toll. And the last one from Kiki Eban says, what they are collecting is very much enough to service us with quality road. You can also have your say, just go to Twitter. The question is, are you willing to pay more road tolls for better roads? And send us your tweets.
Well, so Mamavi and Kojo, this is not the first time that we've talked about increasing road tolls, and since we had the increases, the current rates in 2010. I mean, when Enu Safsoni was Roads and Highways Minister, he had a chance to talk about it. Even before Kwesi Amoakwata, current Roads and Highways Minister, went for his vetting and spoke about the need to increase road tolls. On the 24th of April 2019, the Graphic Online has a story that says, Ministry of Roads sent a proposal to Cabinet for an increment in road tolls to help boost revenue for the road fund, okay? And the minister talked about how he felt it was important to increase that. He says, after a survey, his ministry, and this is where I want to start from, has become aware of the fact that, and this is a quote, we're losing a minimum of 40% revenue and maximum 80% revenue from our toll booth. Now, of the 35 toll booths that we have in this country, 4 are automated. Of the 35 that we have, 4 are automated, and we are losing between 40 to 80% of the revenue. That's according to Kwesi Amoakwata. Now, that's in that same story, he says the Ghana Highway Authority raked in 1.8 million cedis in 2018 from the toll booth constructed on highways across the country, and this was a 4.3% increase in the 2017 figure of 1.79 million. Let me just leave that one aside and get to the road fund itself. And Kojo, we know the sources, of revenue into the road fund. It's important we just share it again, and then I'll continue to do something. So we're looking at what? The monies for the fund shall be derived from such proportions of government levy on petrol, diesel, and refined fuel oil as may be determined by cabinet with the approval of parliament. You know how much you pay for, as part of this, every liter of fuel you buy, you pay 48 pesos.
On every liter?
On every liter of fuel you buy, as contribution to the road fund.
Okay.
It continues to say, bridge, ferry, and road tolls collected by the authority. Vehicle license and inspection fees, international transit fees collected from foreign vehicles entering the country. Now, if you look at the ESLA, that's what we generate from the road fund on petroleum. In 2020, it was 1.779 billion Ghana cedis. In 2021, we are projecting some 1,970,000,000 Ghana cedis.
Almost 2 billion.
Almost 2 billion. Now, how much of this comes from road tolls? How much of this amount comes from road tolls? I have just shared with you what Kwesi Amoakwata said the last time. And so you would see here that huge proportion of the monies we derived into the road fund comes from ESLA. Having said that, it's also important to say that in 2017, we went to Parliament, as in the government went to Parliament, and presented the earmark funds capping and realignment bill. Now, this put a cap of 25. Let me read that for you here. It says, the minister shall ensure that budgetary allocation made in each year to the earmark funds specified in the schedule. And it talks about the fact that incumbent in each year by the earmark funds specified in the schedule is 25% of tax revenue. The minister shall, in furtherance of the obligation under subsection 1, ensure that the capped earmark funds amount to 25% of tax revenue is allocated to the earmark funds specified in the schedule. And these are the earmark funds. These are the earmark funds. Let me just share them with you. National Health Fund, Education Trust Fund, Road Fund, Petroleum Related Fund, District Assemblies Common Fund, Retention of Internally Generated Funds, Transfers to the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, and other earmark funds, Youth Employment Agency, Students Loan Trust. In the 2021 budget, the minister makes the point again that as has been the case, they're going to continue with the capping of earmarked funds. My question simply is, first of all, you have told me that you have automated 4 of these toll booths, and so you're losing between 40 to 80% revenue, total revenue.
Yes.
Now, you've capped the road fund. So the question is, 1, if you're losing between 40 to 80%, why don't you solve that first and know how much you make? If you think there are challenges with the road, with more revenue into the road fund, why don't you undo the capping so you can have more money getting into the road fund? When you have done all of these and you still think you have a problem, then you come back and tell us we need to talk. Until you do all these things, the question is, really, what are you telling us?
Okay. Now, the capping is done by law.
Yes,
and law that
it's
was
a law,
passed
yes.
in Parliament. So if it's going to be undone, that's where it should be undone. So that's a responsibility for Parliament, if you ask me.
Yes.
I'm going by the textbook of how our governance systems are supposed to work. Even though, of course, we know that if Parliament is going to pass something in this country, it means it is the executive passing it, isn't it? All right. So that's to one side. Okay. That's 25% of this fund, this road fund, which, by your analysis, Parliament would have to do something about. Then you have the road toll. And it is not clear to us what percentage it is of the road fund, but we know that it is not the majority.
No, it is not. It's not.
And we are losing 40 to 80% of it every year, every day, actually.
Yeah.
If you are running a business, employing people, paying them to do a job, and you are losing 40 to 80% of the revenue of that business, what should happen to you?
Your guess is as right as mine. You don't have a job.
That's why I don't understand why we're being asked to pay more. You're losing the little, and the little is you describing it as such. You're losing the little that we're paying you, but you're asking us to pay more so that we lose more.
So we have a 40 to 80% gap. That's not even the word. It's a leak.
Yeah.
A 40 to 80% leak. But we are going to charge people more so that we can lose, like you said, 40 to 80% of the more. But I'm wondering why the minister is the one announcing this to us, that his ministry is losing 40 to 80% of tolls. I don't understand. Is he complaining about it to us? Or why is he announcing it?
So this is this.
Are we not a problem-solving?
What we are sharing
country?
is basically in a piece of document that was sent to cabinets.
Yes.
So, in that context, he wasn't speaking directly to us as in the people.
He's always speaking to us. I mean, they
He
work
said
for
to
us.
us-
They all work for us.
Yeah,
So they are
absolutely.
always speaking to us. So if you are writing a document to your boss, cabinet is actually where the president presides, isn't it? So you are writing a document to your boss and telling him that, boss, we are losing 40 to 80% of the revenue of the organization that you've asked us to run. I'm losing 40 to 80% of its revenue. And of course, his boss, the president, that president's boss is us. So what are we doing about it? Why are we okay with this? And it has gone on for years, by the way. It's not just one government that has come along and has started losing 40 to 80%. For years, this is what's been happening. Can we not solve this problem? Is it beyond our ability? Every person who has been road minister since this leakage began has been incapable of solving this problem. Is that what we're saying?
I would wish, I am a regular road user, and I have talked about how the road, just before you get to the toll booth, it gets flooded when it rains. Why, for me as a road user, if that is fixed, and you ask me, I pay 50 pesos now, if you ask me to pay 1 cedis, then I would know that, okay, they're fixing the problem. But you haven't touched that, and it's been 5 years. I haven't seen any improvement. I keep paying the 5 cedis in, 5 cedis out every day, and the problem still remains. If you ask me to pay 1 cedis, it will be difficult, honestly. We've had people boycotting paying tolls on the Tema motorway before, and we don't want that happening. Use the little that you have to begin to fix the problem. It gives me a lot of confidence to want to pay more in the future.
40 to 80%.
But I mean, I'm not shocked. It's also because there are those who would entertain, we need better roads, so we really need to make sure we pay more. It's entertaining the idea that supports the leakage, the wastage. So we put, it's like a leaking basket. We put more money into it, and our solution, and government's perhaps the cheapest solution, is to tax people more. There's nothing innovative about it. It's just what anybody can do. You don't need better
easy to do.
educational qualifications to do that. Because it's simple. You get more money from the people, use it for what you want to use it for. Because you have authority, you can actually put in more measures and get them to pay. And you have the state's coercive powers to actually coerce them to pay. So you can do that. The more innovative economies, that's not how they run it. They run it considering who can pay, at what point can they pay, and why should they be paying. First, who can pay? At a point where we have, this year, heaped a lot of taxes on the people. 2, when we know that they're already suffering from the massive impact of COVID, even government says it's suffering. Entertaining any idea of any further increment, whichever mode, or getting money from the people is not only insensitive, it's unfair. Especially when you have not shown promise of being able to deliver with the small you've been given. Even the Bible opposes that kind of thinking. But beyond that, we have been made to think, and my sympathy is with the fact that when you take compensation and interest payments out of the amount of money we generate as a state, there's very little left. Unfortunately, the very little, we waste a lot of it.
So we
have been pretending to borrow to do infrastructure jobs for a very long time. But we know we have borrowed to pay people's salaries before. we know that we are borrowed to do not the productive things that would reap back money and pay for itself. So once we pretend we are doing smart borrowing, we end up using the money for all the things that ordinarily would not be in the position to pay back. So let me give an example. If you borrow money to build a wonderful road and put a toll booth on it, the presumption is that within a period of time you should be able to recoup the money. But our history suggests that this simple economics has always evaded us. Our own, we end up losing more money. And the productive things we thought we could use the money for, we can't do it. At the end of the day, we overburden the poor people more who have given you power to exercise authority, to take the monies and make sure that their lives are better off. We go back to them and squeeze the little money out of them to plunder the state of all of its resources and still get back to square one. So it's not an exciting day to raise some of these issues. And see, when ministers say they should be a bit concerned when they're asking people that you've already raised taxes on, already overburdened with food price and all of that. Not long ago, the vice president was talking about how construction costs is already on the ascendancy. Do you know what that also means? It also means that people will not build. When people are not building, some people will not get jobs to do. All of these people are part of the system you're asking to come and pay more to you.
Sure.
We should be considerate a little bit to the conditions that the people find themselves in and not be making demands of them, especially when we waste the money they give us. And in any serious state, nobody will be superintending this ministry and will stay in office if you cannot collect 60 to 80% of the monies in there.
All right.
If you have a way of not collecting it, it means you're not innovative enough. It means you're not competent enough. It means you cannot really run the place that you've been given to run. But we entertain that. And we are even entertaining asking them to give you more so that they can waste more on it. I mean, besides being a wasteful state, how do you get the thinking that I need to collect more so that I can waste more?
Yeah.
Okay.
When there's not shown any promise that you can take what I've been given to you and put it to good use.
And I think that Parliament should insist, because this will eventually end up in Parliament. They should insist, go and work on what is being leaked
Frankly,
right now, come back later.
I have very little hope in Parliament, even in this current state.
I still have hope.
All right. So let's do some maths. Do you remember there was a press... In fact, let me start this way. This is all subtraction we're about to do. I was playing darts with my son over the weekend. Have you ever played darts before? It's a game where you start with a high score, and then every time you throw darts, you deduct from it. So it's a race to the bottom. The first person to get to 0 wins. Okay. All right. So let's try that. You remember in May, 23rd May 2021, one of those press conferences that the government organized in response to fix the country. When the roads minister took his turn, he said that about 8 billion Ghana cedis, nearly 8 billion Ghana cedis, is needed to fix our road infrastructure deficit. So that's the size of the problem, 8 billion Ghana cedis. Our road fund, at its most, is not up to 2 billion. Okay. So let's round it up to 2 billion. That's the size of the dent we can make in the road deficit that we have. About a quarter. Okay, we can fix about a quarter of our roads problem with the road fund if it was all available. It's not all available. 25% of it is capped. Okay, so that means what? About 500 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, 500 million of it is gone. That leaves about 1.5 billion. Okay, then out of that road fund, we have leakages from the road tolls, which we are not sure what percentage of the entire thing it is. But that road toll, Nankasano, we are losing up to 80% of it every day. So little by little, we are chipping away at the money that is needed to solve the problem. But here's the most interesting part. What does the law say the road fund is for?
It's not maintenance.
Maintenance.
Yes. Maintenance and rehabilitation of roads.
Does it say it is for new roads?
No.
No, it's not.
So why are we having this conversation anyway about using the road fund for new roads? Are we not discussing an
To maintain
illegality?
our roads.
No. This is about new roads. That's what the minister was saying in his presentation, the one that we played. It's about finding money to construct new roads. And he's talking about the road fund. We haven't even been able to maintain our roads with it. But we are discussing construction of new roads. This 8 billion infrastructure deficit. It's new roads. A very small part of it will be the maintenance of existing roads or the resurfacing of existing roads. So what are we actually talking about? Are we talking about using the money illegally, or are we going to go and change the law so that in addition to capping the road fund, we can now also divert the road fund? What are we talking about? I want to know what you think, whether you would pay an increase in road toll. The suggestion is that in some neighboring countries, they pay as much as 5 Ghana cedis equivalent for a saloon car. Would you be happy with an increase in your road toll?
Yeah, but what's their situation?
Indeed. Which tolled roads do you use? The Tema motorway is perhaps the most popular one in our part of the country. Have you used the Tema motorway recently? Especially when you're driving from Tema to Accra. Look, let me even sound a warning. If you can, as much as you can, avoid the slow lane. Because there are some massive potholes that are so deep, they have exposed the metal works beneath the concrete. Your tires, if you are traveling at speed, will hit those iron rods. Only God knows what could happen to you.
Yeah.
And that is a tolled road. You pay for the privilege of bumping over those potholes. Then look at what is happening on either side of the roads. The dumping of refuse, the springing up of illegal settlements who all somehow have electricity connected to them. God knows how. People are building. Whether it's a factory or a house, you see that someone will go and write stop work. But it's still happening. All of these things are happening alongside the motorway that you are paying to travel on. But they say pay more. Will you? I'd like to hear your view. Don't just take what I'm saying. Tell me what your situation is. Perhaps in your case, the solution would be to pay more. Talk to us. I'd like to hear from you. You know the numbers, 0302 216 541. You can also try 055 1111 997. Would you pay more on your road tolls? Would you pay more?
So Eugene actually sent me a message from Bubua. She says, "Good morning, Winston. The road right in front of GRA office at North Kanishi is bad and has been bad for more than 3 years. I mean, going to pay tax or do business at that branch of GRA, one would have to use that rough road. What will be the encouragement for one to pay tax using that road?"
And that's the revenue collector.
Charlie, doing something to ourselves that... Uncle John is on the line. He's calling from Sakumono. Uncle John, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Uncle John. How's the
And
transport
everybody-
business today?
Okay, please. As I always say, I'm a professional driver. So could you imagine? I use motorway often. And Kumasi and Tekwadi Road because of the work I'm doing. I want to know how much motorway gives us in a day. Look at the traffic on the motorway. We can't even maintain lighting system on the motorway. Why? And they say, tell me, which landlord want to increase the rent? That he said not renovate the house before he increased the rent. They should maintain the motorway, build everything, let the motorway be 4 lanes. If they can't do it, give it to a private person. 4 years, he will get his money back. There are big potholes on the motorway. Why? So I want to know how much we get in a day, a week, and a month. They should tell us why every political party should come to power. The motorway or the top is the first thing they will go and grab it. If there's nothing in the motorway or the top money now, even NPP and this all, when they come to power, first they grab it as the top. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Uncle John. Kwame is in Accra. Good morning, Kwame.
Hi, top of the morning to you, Kojo. How are you?
Not bad at all. It's good to hear from you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you, Winston?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
Great. Great. The Lord is my shepherd. Listen, I got so furious when I heard the deputy minister's VOP played on your station. I'm like, what? Is that the Deputy Minister for Roads and Transport? And he's saying what? Motor riders, bicycle users, and things must pay.
Laughing like killer.
Charlie, Master, Charlie, we are not serious as a country. When was the last time that Deputy Minister applied the Tamamoto way? But in any way, could you? I think you guys are doing the calculation from a wrong point. Listen, just get your team, please get your team from morning 6 a.m. to night 6 a.m. and check the number of cars that apply the Tamamoto way, and just do a minimum payment of say 50 pesos. Don't even go to the big trucks or the SUVs. Just 50 pesos, small cars, and come up with a number. Come on, and they are telling us what Master. The rate is not even 80% as they say. Trust me, it's about 97%. Why should we give toll collection to a private company? And how much do we pay that private company in toll collection? For what? Why? Come on, go and check the math. It is not even 80%. And the Deputy Road Minister is saying what? Charlie, sometimes they should spare us. Some of us, we don't go school plenty. LA1. But please, common sense there, we get some. Come on.
God bless you, Kwame. Thanks for calling us. Kwabena is in Tema. Hello, Kwabena. Good morning.
Hello, Kojo. Good morning.
Good to hear from you,
Kojo,
Kwabena.
I have actually burst a tie on the motorway before.
Wow.
I quite remember some time back, drivers decided not to pay the tolls because the road was bad. Okay. I think we have to go back to that period. We shouldn't even be having a discussion on increment of road tolls. No. It's a non-starter. It's a non-starter. Thank you, Kojo.
Thank you, Kwabena, and thank God for your life. Let's now go across to Takrade, where another Kwabena is on the line. Hi, Kwabena.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Thanks for calling.
I want you to explain what you just said. Is it actually news? Is it actually what they want to do?
That's what the Deputy Minister is saying, that at some point we will have to increase the road tolls.
So you are not doing a comedy show, right? This is actually news happening in Ghana.
This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM.
If I speak, I'll be in trouble. I'll not speak again. Bye-bye.
Thank you for calling us, Kwabena in Takrade.
It's pretty annoying. Really.
Well, it's starting to look like people are quite annoyed by this. But I want to know what you think, okay? Is there anyone out there who feels that actually the solution to our bad roads is for us to pay more road tolls? I'd like to hear from you if that's what you think. Isaac James calls us from Abokobi. Hi, Isaac James. Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo. Kojo, you see, I think that we are not serious as a country, because why can't the Customs Division or GRA, they are the same people, why can't they collect the toll and we're giving it to private people? Who do these private companies belong to? The politicians. Now they take the money into their pocket and they come and leave the road. Look at the motorway. Until they construct the motorway into 4 or 6 new lanes as they claim they are going to do, and that we can travel on the motorway safely, they shouldn't think of you see, I have always been saying it, and people don't understand me, that our political leadership is our biggest woe in this country. If Ghana will succeed, we have to get rid of political leadership and run the country ourselves, because they don't think about our country. All they know is to say, "Oh, die," and what is it, self? Do or die. That's all they know how to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling us, Isaac James. Abeku is in Agbogba. Abeku, good morning.
Could you have me?
I did for you, my brother.
Charlie, you go make you put my BP go high this morning, pal.
Oh.
Charlie, you see, sometimes we wonder if the colors of brain between the white man and the black man will be different. White man, it be like you have white brain where the black man have black brain. While our brain be full of soot. Okay? You see this Agoba small stretch here, getting to the end there.
Yeah.
Just about some 1 meter, or so half meter, I don't know how seven could measure over the bridge there. That one safe. Now, this increment. It be like we these Ghanaians, it be like we don't talk too much. We don't feel act. That's why one leader they take us as fools. Because if we are telling us that you know that leakage day, you know go solve the leakage by one increase money. Why we think backwards. Same applies to water company and electricity. So many leakages. Go to Sako and go see how many people they do illegal for them. That one alone self look of so many things. Instead of them to go and sort how people they do illegal things, they just want increased tariffs. Just like that because of the easiest way to solve matters. And do our leaders really think? The deputy minister will come there where they talk plenty. As I say, when was the last time he said in front of my pay toll before? He be part of the leakage. But then we. As the deputy minister say, when was the last time he paid toll before? And they are talking about how many percent? And that they assume of themselves. If we let them into office, we let them to office to solve issues. We don't ask them to come and complain to us. We want resolve. It's about time Ghanaians have to wake up and like somebody said, if you talk, I will get trouble. I tell you, there will be an uprising in this country very soon. Therefore, be very careful. When you push people to the wall too much, they come back. The little thing they call for the people when they hustle for the road top, they didn't see anything. They put it there, they enjoy. Yesterday, I saw somebody there. I don't want to mention they in VAT inside the smoke cigar, they coolie high inside. It looks like I want to hit up pure water. Hey, what are they taking us for?
Wow.
What are they taking us for? You
later. Thank you for calling us. And for Honorables in Kuli High yesterday, Charlie, you had a narrow escape. Let's talk to Israel in Mepe. Good morning, Israel.
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, my brother.
Thank you very much. I don't know whether I'm misled by my ear or not. Did I hear the minister saying motorist bicycle to also be taxed of paying the toll or what?
Yes, he suggested that there should be a way for all road users to pay.
Including human beings who are using their foot, right?
Yes, motorists, cyclists, everybody who uses the roads.
This Akufo-Addo administration should give us break, okay? We are suffering in this country. They shouldn't try to add any trouble again. We are begging them. They should leave us, please. What at all do they want from us again? All the money they start collecting from the toll, what are they using the money for? They can even use those monies to construct extra over 20,000 kilometers of motorway, but they are not using it. Why are they worrying us like this? I hope they are listening. They should give us a break. Thank you.
Thank you, Israel. Let's go to media. Here's Kwame. Good morning, Kwame.
Good morning, Efo Kojo.
Efo Kwame. The matter chop hot too.
These are politicians are not serious. They won't kill us in this country. Because a road leading to Satsam, from India to Satsam, is not good for the past 5 years. But could you imagine you see policeman come make a block road for there to take money from drivers? So are we serious? And then the deputy minister is telling us we should pay toll, or they will increase it. Are we serious as a country? Oh.
Thank you, Kwame. Thank you for calling us. Our third Kwame of the morning, Kwame from Hachu. Good morning, Kwame.
Good morning, Kojo.
Yes, sir.
I just have a question for you. Do you believe our leadership have an impression that we are able to analyze what they say? Or they feel we are simply listeners with the inability to analyze? So, when you listen to the deputy minister, he's comparing road tolls in Ghana to countries around us, indicating they are so low, right?
Yes.
Kindly ask the same minister or deputy minister who has just contributed to ensuring that fuel prices are that high to compare fuel prices in Ghana to fuel prices around us, that is to countries around us in relation to their fuel prices. And let's find out if indeed the fuel prices we pay is that low compared to the countries around us. Now, kindly remember that embedded in the fuel prices we pay is actually funds for the road fund.
Yes.
So, if indeed the fuel prices we pay, as per the last time I checked, Ghana has one of the highest cost of fuel per liter within the sub-region, not to talk about the entire continent. If indeed we pay that much high for fuel, is this same deputy minister not able to identify the fact that we are already paying high for managing or maintaining the roads? Are they simply thinking that we are not gradually identifying that they are lazy thinkers, that they are being paid for doing next to nothing? They are doing work in a manner that, forgive me to say, even an SS graduate can sit over there and do. Because, Kojo, if it is about simply taxing the people, to have the people pay more at the very least opportunity, Kojo, then you would have as well be the Minister of Finance or the Minister of Roads and Highways today. Okay? So tell our people, particularly the leadership, to begin to realize that we actually analyze when they speak. The fact that they are the ones who are given the microphone to speak does not mean that the rest of us are dumb. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. All right, let's take one more call. It's Papa Bisu. Hi, Papa. Good morning.
Hi, Kojo, my bro. How's it going?
Not bad at all, bro. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah, Charlie, nice one. Charlie, I love this guy, the guy who just left. I love him so much. Are you surprised that this is happening in the country? That is why the economy is at B3 by Fitch Moody's rating. It's really sad. Now, Kojo, they want solution, right? They don't, there's no need for them to increase any, rate. Though the toll booths are being manned by a private company, is it wise to give the toll booth to a private company since we have Ministry of Roads and Highways? That particular sector should be directly under Ministries of Roads and Highways. They should employ people from Roads and Highways and manage that place. And the private company, the money that is taken, can actually be used to, manage some of the roads that they are talking of increasing this thing. You get what I'm trying to say? What is happening? You see, when I talk now, they say, oh, because it's an NDC person, so he's happy that this is happening. Look, we will not allow this to happen. We will not sit down for this to happen. You understand me? The MMDCs, they are yet to be appointed to make the economy move on. But they are looking at, they see majority of them having Alan Chamanti faces on them, so therefore they don't want to appoint them. or NDC faces on them, we don't want to appoint them. What is happening in this country?
Papa Bisu, thank you. Thank you for calling us. Thanks to all of you who called us this morning. We appreciate your views and thoughts and your laughter in some cases. We appreciate it. We've got more. When we come back, we'll speak to Engineer Abdullah Mahama. He's a road and building consultant, and I think you want to hear what he has to say. Stay tuned.
Hello, na aso ufie no e color ben. E blue and asa white.
Oh, e blue. E wa junction so.
Ye chisa. If you blue bia ni ha. Ana wa ye ba kwa ye begina. Ye chisa ma ye fuwe na shi.
Aso unim park e wa junction so meba sisia.
Asew, na if you wear blue and a powder ni white. Oh, asew we dey fata.
Asew.
E da no apa, paint no so apa ka ho. We dey fanya wa yo.
Nanu ye ani paint fie you.
Jamamonte Agatex nka.
Agatex.
Oh, you are Agatex. Hwe, ubeto painter, eno ani Agatex o. Say you blue a, you blue. Isoto, e yabo, e jinamu kanpe, kakra bi na ohia. Na wodan na ye kama.
Hey, any Agatex paint there. E pass all.
Eno no. Agatex. E pass all.
Enti me ye dey nya bi.
Oh, Agatex there. Enya na e wo shop bia mu. Sa wo pere dodo ato a. 050-977-0200. Agatex, a quality Ghana painter. Ghana for Ayama Ghana for.
I don't know what to get for my mom on her birthday.
I think I need something unique and authentic for the choir this year. Ooh, for me, I want a beautiful African print fabric to be used as souvenirs for my engagement.
Hey, we need to get Dad a new shirt when we visit him this weekend.
For your authentic Woodin fabrics and ready-to-wear outfits made from exclusive designs, visit Woodin retail shops nationwide. Feeling good in Woodin? Make your loved ones feel good too.
Woodin, le créateur.
Once again, Malcolm, your number one stop-shop supermarket, is getting bigger, better, and super mega.
Great news here. Now with over 40,000 items under one roof, ranging from electronics, homeware,
kitchenware, furniture, home decor,
electricals, supermarkets, and groceries. All these at one shop.
Oh yeah, you heard right.
Your shopping experience just got really better.
Malcolm, your number one stop-shop supermarket for all your daily needs.
Terms and conditions apply.
Malcolm, where Ghana shops.
A month way, Vodafone Smart Serve is here! Yes, Smart Serve from Vodafone allows you to connect to super fast wireless internet anywhere and anytime at your own convenience. Whether home or office or on your, we move with seamless connectivity. Charlie, there's even more. Vodafone Smart Serve connect up to 32 devices. So now you can connect to the internet on your own terms, increase your productivity, make the most of the things that matter, and do so much more. Visit fvb.vodafone.com.gh or the nearest Vodafone shop today and get a Smart Serve device now. A world of exciting possibilities awaits.
Vodafone. Together we can.
Your office they shine.
Yes, so I tell you say for proper and modern ceiling solutions, the answer be Interface Limited. Them get in stock acoustic ceilings where you go fit make your office fine like my own.
Or even better pass your own self.
We can't better pass my own.
Shall I go Interface right now?
Interface Limited is the leading supplier and installer of finishing input materials for the building and construction industry in Ghana. Call us on 0274-999999 or visit our website at
www.interfacelimited.net. Facebook, Interface Limited GH. Instagram, interface.limited.
Why do you allow coughs, cold, and flu to ruin your happiness? You need Summerlin Cough Syrup. Summerlin Cough Syrup will relieve you and your family from coughs, cold, and flu. Summerlin offers a whole range that provide relief for the entire family. Insist on your Summerlin in pharmacies and licensed chemical shops. Summerlin Cough Syrup from Danex Itin Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Wondering what to do with your Cerelac 400-gram tin? The new Cerelac Wheat 350-gram pouch value pack is the ideal choice to refill your tin. It is affordable, convenient, and still provides key nutrients, iron, vitamin A, B, and D, zinc, and iodine to support normal cognitive function and help promote optimum growth and development. Grab your value pack at a retail shop near you. Cerelac 350 gram, more for less. This advert is FDA approved.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
But Mama Yentu Yeni Kaya Quine. Would you be able to find the same Wakana? How when they may be against a Penepua? Depiana Becasuyan the Quine, Ukunwa Wakan in Bemua. It's Ghana for Mama, sorry. The collagen Kakram, and Woman Casamo Peninsula. Matobe Boasan and Miami Shishe Moon, the measures a beat in the best one. Yes, it would this will be our game. Message so Modena Bank, Mapono. Jenny Abadu and a share panty, but wouldn't hope I not Chena Samantono. Bosumi Yimwana, me Shishe Muka Cafalo requiring Nipecum. Meyamo Shemepa, yes, that could be a Enkukra, the Kudipenu.
You're welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. All right, so this is the direct quote of Mr. Kwesi Amakwata when he spoke, the roads minister, when he spoke on the 24th of April 2019 at the 2019 Board and Management Retreat of the Ghana Highway Authority. Actually, no, he didn't speak on the 24th of April. I think it was the day before. So Ghana Highway Authority 2019 Board and Management Retreat on Wednesday. So this is where he was speaking about a survey that his ministry did, which made them aware of the fact that, and I quote, "We are losing a minimum of 40%, maximum 80% revenue from our toll booths." So he was actually speaking, this is apart from what he may have sent to cabinet, this was him speaking to the Ghana Highway Authority Board. And he says that's how much we were losing in 2019.
Yes, so that's why we're having this important conversation. But pave your way to a stellar career with Webster University. Webster University is a private American university based in St. Louis, Missouri, USA, with international campuses across 9 countries in North America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. And the Ghana campus is conveniently located in East Legon off the Lagos Avenue. Open global doors when you earn a quality American graduate degree in international relations, business administration, or human resources management. In just about 16 months, MBA students can choose a standard MBA or specialize in either marketing or corporate finance. Apply now to start your master's program during the October intake and get up to 30% in scholarship. Be among the first cohort of students for the new HR management program. Enjoy a guaranteed 30% of tuition. Webster University Ghana's campus is open for tours, so book a visit to experience their modern facilities and speak and meet faculty and students. Call 050-054-012-0940 or visit webster.edu.gh for more information.
Just a moment, Mamafi, just before you come in. Let's say a quick good morning to Engineer Abdullahi Mahama, who we'll be speaking to in a moment. He's a road and building consultant. He's our guest this morning. Engineer Mahama, good morning and thank you for your time.
Good morning.
Excellent.
How are you?
Very, very well. I'm very keen to hear your views. I understand that you have a slightly contrary view on this matter. We'll be hearing from you shortly. Mamavi.
So at Enterprise, excellence is a habit, a day-by-day effort to go over and above for our customers in all our offerings. And we've been duly recognized at the recent Ghana Insurance Awards. We're more than pleased to share with you that Enterprise Insurance won the General Insurance Company of the Year and Major Loss Award. Enterprise Life also won the Life Insurance Company of the Year and CEO of the Year. And our newest subsidiary, Acacia Health, also won Brand of the Year and CEO of the Year. We're excellent on all fronts. A win for the whole group, and we want to say thank you to you, our cherished customers in Ghana. Let's keep dreaming big together. Enterprise, your advantage.
Now, if you're wondering what to do with your Cerelac 400-gram tin, well, the new Cerelac Wheat 350-gram pouch, the value pack, is the ideal choice for refilling your tin. It's affordable, it's convenient, and it still provides key nutrients like iron, vitamin A, B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B12, and D, as well as zinc and iodine to support normal cognitive function and to help promote optimum growth and development. Grab your value pack at a retail shop near you. Cerelac 350 gram. More for less. This advert is FDA approved.
And text messages on the Super Morning Show brought to us by Glyco Critical Illness Plan. GSIP, it's in your best interest to survive.
And at Glyco Life, we believe this is the time to protect your future with our life insurance policies. Our products are designed to offer you peace of mind, especially in this COVID-19 era. So to our policyholders, your claims are very important to us, and we advise you to visit our offices or the Glyco Life website, glycolife.com, to lodge your claims for prompt service. We're surviving COVID-19 together, so please pay your premium via your chosen mode of payment or by Momo on 059 144 1473 or by e-premium for micro insurance to safeguard your policies. Our call center team is ready to support you, so you can call us 0202 222 113 for assistance or contact us via our digital channels. We care for your safety, so all our offices are implementing the Ghana Health Organization's recommended COVID-19 protocols. Please practice social distancing, keep safe, and trust Glyco Life to cushion you for life.
Okay, so let's bring in Engineer Abdullahi Mahama. He's a road and building consultant. Engineer Mahama, it's always a pleasure to speak to you. Good morning.
Good morning for you.
So I understand that you are of the view that actually we should increase the road tolls. Am I right?
It is that way and the other way. So on a funny note, let me say I've taken 1 liter of water before I will talk. So that I've got me 1 liter of water so that I can calm myself down and so that I don't go dehydrating before I finish the interview.
Oh, goodness. So talk to us. What are your thoughts on this?
Good morning to your cherished viewers, listeners and viewers alike. This issue has been running for so many years now. Both parties, i.e. the government side and the motorists, all have their point. But before I would make the submission, I would plead with the ministry to listen and listen carefully. If you want to give somebody a house to stay in, at least you have to get a person a certain standard to warrant the payment that you want the person to pay. If I listen to this interview or this discussion this morning and then hear that are 40% minimum and then 80% maximum is what we lose a day, there's no point for this discussion. What the government has to do, or the Ministry of Roads and Highways, is to disengage the subcontractor or the company who have been engaged to handle the problem, if that is the case. Because let's do one typical example before I come to my point. The motorway, we are believed to have about 65,000 vehicles per day. Let's say that 60% of those vehicles are saloon, or what we call the PCU, passenger car unit cars.
Right.
And these cars are paying 50 pesos. You are talking about 19,500 Ghana cedis per day.
Okay.
Now let's lump the SUVs and then the light trucks, the trailers who are paying about 5 cedis and the rest. Let's lump them together and strike an average of 2 cedis.
Okay.
We are talking about 52,000 Ghana cedis. Now when you sum the two up, we are talking about 71,500 Ghana cedis from the toll on the motorway.
Okay.
If you tell me that we are losing about 80%, so out of the 71,500, you are telling me we are saving only 11,800. That is a non-discussion. Look at the analysis I just did on the motorway. So if you tell me that approximately we are losing, I'm just tracking the percent of 60%. If you are losing 60% of that, you are talking in the region of 11,800. It's what you are actually recouping at the end of the day out of 71,000. It does not make sense to anybody, any business. So government, that penchant of not trying to install or minimize human interference beats my imagination. Recently, the Pokwas interchange saw pounding of fufu. If you're able to spend $74 million to construct an interchange, and you cannot spend, let's say, the wildest dream, $500,000 to install CCTV cameras to ensure the longevity and the durability of that facility, then you are joking as a business entity. When you go to Akede and you are moving to Akwetia, about 200 meters before the toll booth is gravel. How do you tell the people to pay? Now let's come to the sub-Saharan Africa. Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso. Let me say we can compete with Cote d'Ivoire on the better routes. But Burkina Faso is a non-stop. But they are paying about 5 Ghana cedis average.
That's
so
Cote d'Ivoire.
That's where, yes, Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso, okay.
Nigeria spends about 40-25% and above. But Nigeria has the fewest of toll booths you can imagine in the country. When you go to South Africa and you are traveling from like Bloemfontein to Pretoria, you are traveling from Accra to Kumasi. Before you get to Kumasi and Lake Sunyani, you are paid in the region of about 50 Ghana cedis. But ask yourself, what are the conditions of good road? You do an average of 100 kilometers per hour from Accra to Kumasi if you are in Pretoria in 2 hours, possibly 20 minutes. So you are able to economize your fuel and other part of your machine because you are not actually unduly staying in traffic for long. So it makes sense when somebody should pay about 50 Ghana to do such a business with all the safety, traveling on 3-4 dualized 4-lane road in and out without having head-on collisions that brings about the devastation of accidents that we have. But it is justified to increase the toll. How do we do that? How do you convince us? For me as an engineer, I'm looking at the Saharan Africa and I think we need, as a matter of honesty, to increase the toll. But before you do that, at least government should take about half a year and improve all the bottlenecks that will let Ghanaians be willing to pay. That's my initial submission.
It's an interesting thought. You know, if you think about it, those who are managing our roads are telling us that, well, we're losing up to 80% of the revenue, so we would like permission to charge the customer more. Now, what exactly is the difficulty when it comes to maintaining roads? Because you see, all of this was actually in a discussion about constructing new roads, but these tolls and the road fund are supposed to be for maintaining our roads. So with whatever little we collect, what exactly becomes the difficulty in maintaining the specific roads we've told, like the Accra-Tema motorway, which is an expired motorway, but we're failing to maintain it anyway? What's the difficulty?
The timeous release of funds to the ministry to sublet the contract to the maintenance division, i.e. the mobile maintenance unit taking part of the work because they can't do all the maintenance in the country. They contracting other subcontractors or road contractors who are specialized in maintenance to execute or to undertake that maintenance. You know one thing about the roads, when you allow or the time for maintaining a certain road with a less depression or less distress is elapsed by say 2, 3, 4 months, 6 months, or a year, the distress or the potholes, like the dinner term, exponentially increases because you are unable to seal those potholes timelessly. The rains come, they seep through, they make those areas susceptible to depression, and as the vehicles fly on those areas, they expand. So the next year, you have what we call exponential expenditure. You are now looking for, if you are looking for, let's say, 10 Ghana cedis to maintain a small pothole, and you go through a season, you might need about 40 more to do the same maintenance. So timeous release of funds to the ministry and onward transfer to the contractor or award of contract for maintenance of those roads is key. And the supervision of otherwise those roads are supposed to be maintained, how they are properly supervised, how they are maintained, the type of material used, and the leftover. When you drive on the highway, you see sometimes some of the contractors will come and shoulder clearing. When they do shoulder clearing and they leave those materials there, that is a source of funding on the highway. And once water stays on the highway for a longer time, the enemy of the road is the water. And then when they get their way through the small holes, the voids, then this thing starts. So the major problem has to do with the release of funds on time.
Yeah, but Engineer Mahama, we're taking these funds. I mean, and when it comes to the road fund, we have sources of the fund. Now, there's a reason why we have the road fund. It's supposed to be used for the maintenance and rehabilitation. Why should there be a challenge with the release of the fund when the fund has a specific duty it's supposed to perform?
That question, you know where it could be answered. The Ministry of Finance would have to answer that question because they have the money in the coffers and they decide that, okay, for this time, let's borrow from here and act on this one. Let's take from here and act on this one. It is up to the ministry. I don't know how or who may take them to court. This right to information bill, I don't know whether it's actually in operation. We should be able to be given quarterly revenues which are realized from the levies, from the fuel, because you are paying 48 pesos per liter on a liter. And if you are using 200 Ghana cedis per week, you take that extraction of it, that's 8% of that, and see how much you are paying to the road fund. And at the end of the quarter, if you don't see this money coming back to do any maintenance within your area where you stay, whether you're on a good road or a bad road, ask for the fuel you buy, and that percentage will be deducted. So the Ministry of Finance would have to tell us why they prioritize using other monies from other sectors, go and do other things, when they know that the road sector is so expensive. Like I told you last time, approximate cost of 1 kilometer of a road, dualized. Let's say the motorway, if it's asphaltic, it's about 18 kilometers, out to 18 kilometers. So let's say 18 kilometers dualization. It's approximately $3.8 million United States dollars per kilometer to be able to run an effective construction of motorway from beginning to end. So that's like $3.8 million to adjust dual carriage from Petekwashi to the motorway area. So it's expensive. And if you don't conscientize the Ministry of Finance or those who are in charge of releasing funds, that hey, if you don't do this at this X time, before we get to the Y time, it will be exponential, and that will be a disincentive, or it will be a deterrent to all of us. I mean, when you don't have that, you don't have. If you're able to, if you're supposed to pay 100,000 Ghana cedis in May, and you decide not to pay, and you're going to pay 400,000 Ghana cedis in October, can you imagine the stress that you go through? That is what we are faced with at the Ministry of Roads and Highways, which had a challenge of getting money from the Ministry of Finance on time to pay subcontractors to go in and routinely carry out the maintenance of it. Because if you maintain a road, an asphalt road which has about 10 to 20 years lifespan, if it's not maintained, you start to get deterioration within the first 10 years, and the road might go bad. But if you concentrate and you do routine maintenance, you can go beyond the lifespan of the project and the road. And that is where we are. But my problem is that the minister has now been unearthing almost all the issues in the road sector. Last week, he spoke about the fact that, I want to quote the Minister for Roads and Highways, Honorable Mafata, that the people that were put at the axle load section are thieves. I'm quoting him. If you know that they are thieves, you don't know how to handle it. It's the same as the toll booths. get independent CCTV cameras installed, which will have oversight responsibility of our 4 ministries, i.e. the Ministry of Roads and Highways, the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Interior possibly, and possibly the National Security. And randomly, they have to be doing random check at this area, because when one trailer goes across a toll, the Wayne's acid load, and they decide to go behind and see to the people there and go its way, if that person pays 3,000 guys instead of 5,000 for the fine, that's equivalent to 6,000 saloon cars going through a toll booth at a time. I don't know if I'm getting my mathematics here. Let's say a trailer was overloaded, and they know. And I'm telling you that the minister is right. There are thieves there, allegedly, and I'm just telling you that if you want to actually reduce this thing, get installed CCTV cameras at all these areas, and you see the revenue that Ghana can raise from the toll booth as well as the axle load. My worry on the axle load is not only about even the money which is being embezzled. A contractor will do a very good road, quality road, but just the overlooking of the axle would bring the lifespan of the road to, let's say, 25% or 50% less. That is where we have a problem. So apart from the part, the people who are there, officers putting money in their pocket, the overlooking of the axle would lead to the deterioration of the road in time. Mr. Minister, you are aware of this thing. Get the ministry to work. Get CCTV installed. Get independent people to money. Let the media be part of the observation, so that when the vehicles are arrested and sent to court, the media can follow up and give adequate or precise reportage.
Thank you, Engineer Mahama, for your contributions. Engineer Abdullahi Mahama is a road and building consultant. Wow, where does this leave us, and how do we move forward?
Kojo, I mean, if you have road tolls totaling about 80 million Ghana cedis annually, and this is minus the 40 to 80%. So clearly, you're looking at us being able to raise some 150 million if we're doing all things right. Look, and if you have, ESLA contributing in excess of 1.9 billion Ghana cedis to the road fund, I think that it's important for us to do a few things right. From the foregoing, it is obvious that we have not done enough to warrant an increase in road tolls. Let us fix the challenges, then come back. And let me just end on this note. Look, we're talking about increasing road tolls because we want to be able to maintain our roads. The road contractors are on the neck of government. They say, you owe us. You haven't paid us. So the question also, and then other leg of the conversation is, now, the contracts we award using the road fund, do we award contracts that can be funded by the road funds? Or we exceed the targets of the road fund?
Right.
What has been the expenditure of the road fund over the period? We will continue.
I think it's clear. There's a lot of anger because what we already pay, we actually don't know what they use those monies for. So fix all the little problems, because when it rains, as I said here, if it starts to rain, I can't go home. I have to wait. And what is interesting is it's just the portion just before the toll booth. It gets flooded, and so I have to stay away and wait before I can go to my house.
Cross the river, they will take the toll.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, they are waiting. As soon as you cross, they stretch their hands. They want to take the money. And that makes me really angry as a road user. So listen, we don't want to say that we're not going to pay at all. I pay 50p every day in and out. Fix it. And next time, come with a conversation of increments, and I'll pay attention to you.
Wow. Okay. Well, the reactions of the callers was interesting. Some people laughing to mask their anger. What a reaction.
It's because sometimes those in policy positions forget that there's a lot of hardship still in the country. You may use political talk to mask it and make it look like, it's not as worse as it was before. And not people are really suffering. When they wake up Monday morning to a conversation on why they should rather cover more when the people who are asking them to tighten their belts have very loose belts. Some of them don't even have belts at all. It really sends a signal that you are insensitive, that you don't care about them. And the reaction is to tell you that we put you in office to make our lives better, not to worsen it and demand more. It evokes a lot of emotions, which I hope in the future we can go beyond and understand our current situation better.
Yeah.
But now, who Kosam is the most important part.
Indeed. And for me, I think it would be interesting to see how the government is looking at this leakage. Is it a problem that is to be solved, or is it an excuse
to
tax people more? How are they looking at it? That's of interest. All right, when we come back on the Super Morning Show,
look for a job. That's why I'm here. I now have a family of about 4 kids. Everybody depends on me. So you should know what really I'm going through. Well, it's only God. Because the 1,000 is my take home from the school. As I said, I do other things. Paying about 150 cedis for rent. My brother, the fact of the matter is that I've been trying to move out of this country, not today. It's rather unfortunate that if you go through my passport right now and see the kind of visas I have in my passport, you will be surprised. That has been my option all this while, because I've seen some sort of unfairness in the system.
So on Friday, we said that we know what the American dream, for instance, is. You know, they say they want a spouse, 2.5 children, a dog, a house with a white picket fence, and a 401k pension. What's the Ghanaian dream? Well, listening to that gentleman, the job seeker you just heard, the Ghanaian dream is to leave Ghana. That's what an academic study also revealed to us on Friday. But why? Why does it seem as if we are so detached from our nation? Is that the reason for so many of the problems that we have? How do we reattach? And what exactly should a progressive Ghanaian dream look like? When we return.
Morning Show.
What would you do if you have the choice to do anything in life? Build your dream house, take very good care of your family, and plan for a comfortable retirement. Plan a befitting funeral for your loved ones when they depart. How would you live if you knew there was a friend waiting to support you on all of your life's choices?
You have such a friend in Glyco Life Insurance. Glyco Life has all the plans to meet your life's needs. Your child's education, your life savings, your mortgage, funerals, redundancy, and your retirement, and takes the burden off